Devin Haney's been struggling to get his next opponent lined up, but he's revealed that he's accepted a fight against Teofimo Lopez. Tim Bradley loves the idea of Haney fighting Teofimo, and he stated, "Why don't you go ahead with Teofimo Lopez? There are options at 140 pounds. Why don't you go after Teo? That might be an even bigger fight than Ryan Garcia because Ryan doesn't have a belt. But guess who has a belt? And you have a belt. And then you mesh things together, and now you have a unification at 140 pounds in one of the biggest fights of 2024. Originally, Devin Haney had been looking to fight Ryan Garcia, but Ryan changed his mind and wants to fight Rolly Romero instead. Teofimo thinks that that's a smart decision, and he stated, "That's the Mayweather effect." Well, no, you gotta think about it as a business point. If he gets the world title, then he gets to balance the WBC with the WBA. You know what I mean? But if he ain't got no belt, the Haneys are gonna say they need more money because they got the money belt. It's a smart move. It's a really smart move for Ryan Garcia, I'll say that. You know, I think that he needs something. He needs to carry a belt because it does matter. Belts do matter in the sense of percentage of what we get as our payout. I mean, but there's ways to move around it with the pay-per-view revenue. Something must have happened with the Haneys. Obviously, we saw Ryan Garcia and Mayweather running together, so anything can happen, really. It's part of boxing. I don't want to say that it's an influence. I think that it's just that you need guidance. That's all it is. You just need guidance to take care of your career moving forward. You can't continue to lose. There's plenty of drama between Teofimo and Devin, which will make for an interesting fight, though.
You don't need to do it. You don't need to do that shit, bro. All about. We do that shit inside the ring, bro. You gotta do that shit inside the ring, bro. Do it. After them both on, don't do it. Never been. Not on my blood. Never been, bro. You've been fed from a silver spoon your whole life. Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. You ain't for nobody, bro. You ain't for nobody. What happened to the meeting with Bob? 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 Exactly. What happened to the meeting? No, anybody. What the? We gotta stop fucking talking shit and get in the fucking ring. Anytime. We ready, bro. You know what they calling you out. Anytime. It's a deal. Come on, it's a deal. Come on, man. Let's do it, bro. Take this shit all day.
Teofimo Lopez Sr. seems to think that Devin Haney is as fake as it gets, and he stated, "The man at 140 is Teofimo Lopez. We beat the lineal champion, and we got the lineal belt. We beat Josh Taylor. My son is #1 at 140, and all these lies that all these guys are talking about all these fighters are the best at 140. Those are all lies. My son should be undisputed because Josh Taylor never lost the belts to anybody. Shut up that you're the best in the division. My son is #1 at 140. That guy fought the easiest challenge in the 140-pound weight division. The only reason Haney took that fight is because Prograis didn't look good in his last fight against Danielito Zorrilla last June. He even got dropped by a guy that nobody even knew. My son would have easily dropped Prograis in 3 rounds, so Team Haney is glorifying picking up that belt like it's something big. But the only person you gotta beat to be the man is Teofimo Lopez. Come and get him. We're ready. The biggest fight in the division right now is Teofimo Lopez, no matter who he fights. I don't even care about that guy. He ain't nobody. Teofimo Lopez definitely thought that he had the perfect tactic to beat Devin, and he tried to give Regis Prograis advice. He stated, "For Regis, if he's listening right now, you've got to bully him, bro. He has pillow hands, takes the shots and whatever. You can put your head down and let him hit you on top of the dome and break his hand. Little like that. Smart, dirty tricks are going to win that fight with him." Teofimo Lopez Sr. thinks that he knows the key to beating Devin as well, and he stated, "Once you get away from that jab, he's dead. We're gonna knock that dude out. He won't last 6 or 7 rounds. My son is gonna figure out that jab. That's all he has." Bill Haney had a lot to say about a potential fight between Devin and Teofimo.
I'll put the pressure on him. Tell him to stop. You laughing, but you tell him to stop coming. Get out.
I'll ask him when I see him.
I told him come out the bushes, and I meant him. Are you one of the?
Are you going to petition? No,
okay?
Absolutely not.
Okay, well,
absolutely not. Well, I want to ask you. Let me ask you then. Are you going to petition for the WBC
we
if you win?
We can't petition. We the world champions. You know what it is.
Well, there's
confusion. Ain't no. Just in black and white. You go look up the franchise designation, and you know what that means. The franchise designation means that you petition if you want to do it. Now, if you don't want to do it, let's sit down like gentlemen and bosses. You got the youngest boss in the game, Devin Haney, and make this happen.
I'm with it.
You say you with it.
I'm with it. I don't got a dog in the race. I'm a boxing fan.
Okay, I thought you was on some other shit.
I'm a boxing fan.
Devin Haney definitely didn't think that Teofimo was the top guy at 140, and he believed that Regis was the man. Devin stated, "I can't say he's the guy. He's probably the most popular in the 140-pound division. I think Regis would be that guy." When Shakur Stevenson took a look at the potential fight, he stated, "Right now, Teo is the top guy at 140 pounds now. It's a great fight. I would favor Teo right now." Devin Haney called Teofimo out for faking his retirement, and he hated the size of the purse he wanted to make the fight. Devin stated, "Yo ho never retired in the first place. Let's see if you really want the smoke. I'm gonna be 140 champ regardless. You asked for 20 million last time my pops talked to you." Teofimo called him out for the low price, and he stated, "What? 20 M's? I didn't even state out the location of our fight, let alone put a price on the fight. What are you talking about, man? Start losing weight and we'll figure out the rest so we can give the fans a dream that will take over the sport of boxing." Teofimo didn't even think that Devin beat Vasily Lomachenko, and he stated, "I had it 9-3 Loma. Yeah, Devin didn't do enough. Loma was dictating the fight starting from the second round on. He was pushing the fight more. He was throwing combinations more. It's just people gotta look at these fights without the commentators. Commentators try to make it very one-sided. So when I looked at it, I was just seeing every time Loma was connecting with Haney, cause I watched the fight, but I knew what was gonna happen at the end. I know boxing and my business. I know it. People criticize me for what my comment was weeks before it, but it stays the truth right now. Every time Loma was connecting, they stood quiet. Every time Haney threw a jab or an uppercut, they mentioned it. If you know boxing, you know what's going on. If you don't know the business of boxing, then people are gonna be upset and down on the decision, but I wasn't." Roy Jones definitely thinks that Teofimo would win against Devin Haney, and he stated, "You've got to favor Teo because he beat two different pound-for-pound guys in different weight classes. He's got the edge right now, but that's a very good fight. Devin would be coming for that. You might look at the fact that Devin beat Kambosos twice and he beat Teofimo. You could look at it that way and say Devin's the better fighter. Either guy could be the favorite, and that's why those types of fights make for great fights, because you've got two guys, the left could win or right could win." Bill Haney's had enough of Teofimo and his father though, and he called him out once again.
Teofimo Lopez, if you don't knock it off talking about you want Bud Crawford. I just seen you and your daddy, and y'all yelled, "Why didn't we offer you 20 million? So you can imagine what you'd be talking about to fight Bud Crawford. Listen, act like you got some sense. You hear that money counter in the background. Act like you got some sense, and we can make Haney versus Lopez for that 140-pound unification. Yeah, baby. Act like you got some sense. And stop talking about Bud Crawford. You don't want none of Bud Crawford, and you don't deserve none.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.